Welcome to Excel Magic Trick 1866. Hey, in this video, we got to talk about whether to use Power Query or worksheet formulas to go from this table where a variable is in the column header, manager 1, manager 2, and employees listed below. But what we really want is a unique list of employees, and then next to each employee, we want managers' names, which are the column header here. Sue, we need a single Sue, and both managers separated by a comma. Now, this question and the cool worksheet formula we're going to see comes from Tuhin at LinkedIn. This is the starting data set, and this is the end result that we're trying to get. Let's go over to 1866. All right, we'll create the worksheet formula first. Now, we have 3 columns, a table of interior values, and we need a unique list. We'd like to use the unique function, but when it sees a table, it's actually polite. It gives us a unique list of records. So when I enter that, that's not what we want. We'd like the table to start off in a column. So right inside, before the table name manager and employee, I'm going to use the TOCOL function. That way, we'll have a column, and unique will have no problem giving us a unique list of employee names. Now, here's the cool formula for managers that Tuhin gave us. Now, we really want to use the if function, but I want to build it piece by piece. We do need to look at the logical test, and the logical test will be, hey, anyone in the interior table, 1, 2, 3 columns with a bunch of employee names, are you equal to this particular employee? Now, if I enter this, I get a bunch of trues and falses. Now, we're going to put this in the first argument of if, and true value will be the first row of field names, which are the manager names, which are across the columns. Any true here pulls out Lung Pham. Any true in the second column will pull out Sheila Dawn Kip. F2. If, there's our logical test, comma. Value if true, there are the manager names. And comma, for value if false, we want to put in the syntax for empty cell, double quote, double quote. Now, technically, that's a 0-length text string, which is not empty, but Excel understands that as empty. And so will text join. Close parentheses, Control Enter, and that's looking good. Now, for the first employee, there's only one manager. But if we copy it down, we get some spill errors. But for Chantel, there are 2 managers. Control Z, F2. Now we simply put it inside of text join. Tab, the delimiter, in double quotes, comma, space, end double quote, comma. Ignore empty. Let's move that screen tip. You can put a true or a 1, or you can omit it because it's the default. And that's our formula. If we close at the end, Control Enter, double click and send it down, and bam, we have looked up from the interior table, returned something from the column header, and we have for each employee, manager separated by a comma. Now, let's see how to do it with Power Query. Now, we're going to see some cool M code in this video, but if you want my latest book on M code, here it is, MrExcel.com products. That link is below. Also, it's at Amazon. Here it is. That will be available October 1st. Now, this is an Excel table. I'm going to click in a single cell. And instead of going to data from table or range, I'm using the keyboard. Now, you got to find your right-click key on your keyboard. Right-click, and notice there's an underlined G. So putting it all together, right-click G. As quick as that, there's our Power Query editor. Now I want to rename this query, something like Manager Employee Report, and Enter. Now Power Query created these 2 steps. Source, it used the Excel.current workbook to pull out the Excel table name Manager Employee, and then it added data types. Now we don't need this step, so I'm going to exit out. Now we only have 1 step. Now we have the same situation here in the Power Query editor as we did in the worksheet. This is not a proper data set. Actually, what they did, this is like a pivot table where you drop a condition into the columns, and it gives a unique list. What we really want to accomplish our final goal is to create a proper data set. And if you notice, the first record in this improper data set really should be 3 records. We should have a column called employee, 1, 2, 3 rows, and then another column named manager, where Lung gets matched up with Kathy, Sheila Dawn with Nelson, and so on. Well, it's easy in Power Query. Select the first column, hold Shift, click the last column, right-click, UnPivot columns. And just like that, manager, employee. And sure enough, there's a new step. If we look up to the formula bar, there's the amazing function that did this, table.unpivot other columns. Now, the first argument is source, because that's the table we're trying to transform. We don't have a particular column that we're unpivoting other columns, so it has an empty list. That means we're unpivoting all the columns. And then there's the name of the new columns. Now, this is employee. We're going to need that one. This one we're going to transform later. So I'm going to come up. Instead of adding a new step to rename the column, I'm just going to edit the M code. Value becomes employee, and enter. Now our goal with the employee column is to get a unique list and then find all the manager names and join them. The perfect feature for that, right-click, Group By. There's the field where we're going to get the unique list. The new column will be manager. And instead of an aggregate calculation like sum or average, we just want to group together all the matching records. That way, for the third person, Chantel Mims, there should be 2 manager names. All rows. Click OK. Sure enough, we get a table. Chantel Mims. Don't click on the green table, because that extracts it an entire new table. Click off to the side. There's the manager names we're after. Now, let's look at the amazing Table.Group function. Uh-oh. What is pound double quote? Why is there a pound symbol? Because text already took up the syntax for double quotes on either side. And since this is an identifier for the previous step, that identifier can't use double quotes. They decided to use a pound. What this means, when you use Power Query to make your M code easy to read, rename all identifiers F2 and get rid of the spaces. Watch this when I hit Enter and go look at the new group step. That's much more polite. So we have Table.Group. It's acting on the previous step, now without a space. That's a table. There's the column we're trying to get the unique list from. And then in the third argument, there's a list within a list, because you're allowed to have multiple aggregate calculations. Now, manager, that's the name of the new column. Each, that's the syntactical shorthand for a custom function. What it means is, hey, I want to do something in each row. And then there's underscore. Underscore is also syntactical shorthand for a custom function, but it just means, hey, I want to get everything in the entire row. And because when you group records together or rows, it returns a table, that's what it's returning. That little underscore is what's returning this entire table. It represents that table. Now, how do we extract a list from a column in a table? Well, we start with the table, and then we use square brackets, field access operators, with the field name. So I'm going to try and highlight everything up to, we need those double curly brackets, because that's closing off the list within the list. And then close parentheses, that's for Table.Group. Delete. I'm going to type a space. All right, square brackets. And hopefully I can spell attributes correctly. There it is, table, field access operators. When I click OK, I guess I didn't spell it right. T, and then get rid of the S. Click the check mark. And there, in the third row, there's a list. There's the names. Now, that's perfect, because when we, after each, add the new function Text.Combine, Text.Combine requires a list. I see it there, tab, open parentheses. Sure enough, text as a list. Backspace. After attribute field access operators, comma. And now we need the separator, double quote, comma, space, and double quote. and then close on Text.Combine, and that's our formula. Click the check mark, and bam! Chantel, managers with a comma in between. I'm going to be polite and come over here, F2. And I want to sort ascending. There it is, Chantel Mims is first. F2 over here. Don't leave any spaces. Backspace, enter. Now, if you come up to Advanced Editor, you can see the let statement. Let just allows you to define intermediate variables. In just says, hey, what do you want this let statement to deliver? So each one of the steps, the last step is what we want to deliver, so that let will work. Notice no pound double quote anywhere in this M code. Click Done. Close and load dropdown. Close and load to. Table existing. Let's put it right there. Click OK. Now here's the queries and connections. I'm going to close this. If you want to open it back up, data, queries, and connection. And sure enough, 1, 2, worksheet formulas or Power Query. We can take this improper data set, gather up a unique list in a column of employee names, and then list all the managers separated by a comma. All right, we'll see you next Excel magic trick.